if we're doing a kitchen remodel, how would you work with the cabinet maker to add these details?
So what do we want, in what detail are we talking about that you've seen in a closet? You want it in your kitchen, or is it a cabinet in a closet that we're trying to add to?
Lacey?
Yeah, sorry, I'm actually Beth, not Lacey. But yeah, so you were talking about earlier how, you know, cabinet makers are constrained by what options they have. So if we have a cabinet maker who we're working on a kitchen and we want to bring in some of these details, like the customization of the dead space in a closet, or you know, or in a pantry area, or just the way that you can access things, you know, add that extra layer of storage in, or accessibility, I should say, you know. So we have the cabinet maker. Would we bring you in and say, okay, let's problem solve together? And then he basically builds the box and then you add the components for the interiors. Is that how that would work? Or how would that, or would we have to just say you're handling the cabinets alone and not have the cabinet maker, or what? Is there a way to bring the two of you together?
Are you talking about for a kitchen?
Either a kitchen or bathroom, or yeah, but one of those where we want to get into specific, this is the best way to access storage. So
at that point, we would just be kind of like consulting with the design, because if somebody else builds the cabinets and they don't build them the right depths or drillings, whatever, none of these gadgets may work. So all these gadgets are designed with our stuff that we're going to put in, and we know they're coming. So making all those work is kind of seamless.
okay.
You're just adding to somebody else's stuff. You have to kind of, it's like a countertop. You go in and you template it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, you can't order your countertops with your cabinets. You got to wait for everything to be done.
Okay.
So if you had these features or anything like that being added, and they were like add-ons, they would need to be done really kind of after to see how they would fit. It was really better to talk to you about the corners, talk to you about what you want, and then if we were able to kind of steer the design,
Mm-hmm.
certain size of cabinet or certain width of this or that. But if it's a kitchen or a bath, we just know enough that we don't know enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Electrical and water and faucets and plumbing and venting and all the things that come with kitchens, you know, you guys are experts, and you know, we're not. We really won't want to step in and be responsible for how all those moving parts work, because we don't know what we do. But we know how to use a corner. We know how to use some things. We can just point out, oh, if you just change this or that design.
Mm-hmm.
And I designed a closet that we didn't do any of it. All we did was design all the accessories. And then I met with the cabinet maker and told him how this had to be built for those accessories to work. There was 47 different little gadgets in this closet, but they all worked. And that cost them $20, you know, 20 hours of time roughly. But
Yeah.
it come out great. But we couldn't build what we wanted to do with that closet.
Okay, then, and that's the question I had, because, you know, yeah, the cabinet maker would make the cabinets, but I want to have the functionality that you were showing us. So then we could bring you in and say, you know, this is what we're working on with the design, what needs to be changed, so that you can say these are the components that can be put in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Kind of like your design time is by the hour, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Because that would be a perfect way, because then we got 3 people looking at each different aspect, and then how we can work it together to create the most functional, beautiful space. I love it. It's great.
When we started, Brian and I, you know, two, you know, original people way back, you know, 18 years ago, it was just me and Brian. Well, we got in trouble a lot because we said yes to everything, and then we didn't even know we were going to do it yet. But then we kept on saying yes, and we say yes to so many things. That's how we've learned all these things. I learned that well, that one we need to say no to. You know, you can't say yes to everything unless you can back it up. At least now we know where to stop. We stop at kitchen. We can help a kitchen. We stop at, you know, Sapelli and 100%, you know, rainforest wood. But we know how to build the cabinets out of that stuff so that they get better functionality perhaps than you're going to have.
Right.
So that's just where we're at. Is we've learned when to say no after saying yes for as long as we possibly can.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question kind of tagging off of what Beth was bringing up and what you said about working with the designer. In a situation where a designer is working on a remodel or a new construction, at what point do you think that when is the right time to bring in the closet design people? When can we call, like at what point in the design? Do you like to be involved from the get-go, or do you like to come in sort of once the walls are there and figure out how things are going to happen then? In a perfect job, where would you like to be brought in?
It depends on what you want. If there are your typical, you know, basically average, which is still very nice closets, but if you're just doing something kind of standard, you're going to hang things off the wall. You can bring us in, you know, when you painted the place. But the design that I showed you here, we're walking through this you know, floor to ceiling, 24-inch deep. You know, we have lighting built in. We need to be there before you build any walls, because sometimes if it's a plan phase, sometimes people will have a vision of what they want. They want this center point, you know, this focus on the back wall between two windows. But if they can make that space 3 inches wider, you can get what they want in there. Sometimes we're given a picture of here's what I want, and then we walk in the room. You know, their closet dreams are this fully symmetrical, you know, 18-foot back wall, but then the windows are in 2 different places. You know, the left and right window don't match. Well, all of a sudden you've just taken this beautiful vision and you make it something that can't go there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long, skinny room, and you can't put drawers on where they had visioned them. You know, 18 months ago when they planned the house, they wanted them here, but you know what? That's not the right place to put drawers. So if we could get, if it's a major project, something that they're, you know, not just going to put a few $1,000s in the closet, we need to be in there talking to the kitchen layout. You know, we should be on subfloor with this thing right here, not on carpet and pad. We need early. Sometimes we can look at a window placement or maybe the heat register is going to be smack dab in the middle where you want your jewelry drawer display, or you're going to put in a ceiling access that completely wipes out how you trim the whole room out.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. We can come in quite late, which is what people usually do with us. We get called last minute and they want, you know, everything to be perfect without any thought or planning. But really, if this is like cabinetry, but you want to include us in the conversation, just like you're doing your kitchen cabinets.
That's awesome. So I'm going to ask a question that that I would always get from clients is, what kind of lighting is best in the closet?
Well, so now we have to work together, because we're not going to put the puck lights in or the ceiling lighting, but what we know enough of is that that's got a number. That's got 4,000 Kelvin or 2,500. It's either warm or it's cool. These lights here are 4,000, and we put 4,000 here because of the gray color. But that's what you want to get your customer involved. You know, these lights in a closet shouldn't be 4,000 if your room light is 2,500. You know, kind of gold, and then all of a sudden you get to more almost daylight. So I like the more truer colors to see the color of clothes, but some people like it to be warmer in a closet, and that they pick more like maybe a 2,700 or 3,000, and it just makes it more I guess less sterile and more homey. That's kind of the same question. What do you want in your light fixtures? I think they should match. You shouldn't have 2 colors. So that conversation is important to share with us, so we don't put the wrong color in on our LED strips.
Perfect.
Oh, Brian's yelling in the other room. want to make you put in enough budget to actually accomplish what the people want to accomplish.
Yeah,
Mhm.
always.
And we're kind of at the end of process historically. So we're trying to, if we're doing this kind of closet, you need to get that in your budget, because this isn't something you just throw in at the end, or after you refinance and, pull a little money out or whatever, these crazy financial things that happen at the end. We need to tell you that this is going to be $20,000. This is going to be $8,000. And you got to put that in the budget in advance. That's part of the financing money. If you just have in like 3,000 and then but want this, it's disappointing for everybody.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could get earlier in the process, we can help put that number in there so they understand it, and maybe they get cut then as opposed to cut at the last minute. It just kind of frustrates everybody. But if we can go in earlier too, we'll be out of that end of project money situation too, where we're, we don't know if we're going to get paid or not.
Not good.
And we have a bunch of builders where we're fully designed, 100% ready to go, budgeted, priced, and the house is still in the ground. We don't need to have it drywalled to do a closet design. So that's kind of back to, you send your kitchen person the design from plan. They don't need to wait till the studs are up or the drywall's in to go measure and to plan their kitchen. We can do that if it's a major project, we need that now. We need that, whenever you're contemplating what to put in the structure of the home. It's really kind of a permanent, some closets are add-ons. They're just like closet fixtures that you feel you can just take with you. We build things in, and this is really staying with the house. This is not a take with you kind of a thing. So you just need more planning earlier in the planning phase.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent advice. Thank you. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. This has been